man can defeat armies, climb mountains, survive storms, and still lose the deadliest war of all, the war within. Self-doubt doesn't roar. It whispers, quietly. It eats away at confidence, poisons purpose, and drains strength not with swords but with silence. In today's world, where men are told they're either too much or not enough, the internal war has never been more brutal. A man may face armies, scale towering peaks, and walk through storms, yet still lose the most important battle, the one inside his own mind. Self-doubt doesn't need to scream to destroy. It whispers, it questions, it lingers, wearing down a man's fire not with force, but with quiet erosion. And in this modern world, where masculinity is often criticized, strength is misunderstood, and values are mocked, the war within has never been more merciless. But the Stoics fought this same battle, and they won. Their wisdom is our map. To master the inner voice, to cast off false guilt, and to replace doubt with calm, unshakable clarity. Step 1. Recognize the enemy. Self-doubt is a liar, one that disguises itself as humility, caution, or even wisdom. But in truth, it's usually just fear in disguise. Epictetus said, "Man is not worried by real problems, but by his imagined anxieties about real problems." Self-doubt whispers, "You're not ready. You're not qualified. You don't belong." But that voice isn't divine insight. It's an echo of wounds, shame, and criticism you never chose. Why this matters? Because doubt only grows when you don't question it. Naming the inner critic lets you fight it with reason. Most doubts aren't facts. They're unexamined fears. How to apply it? Write down the negative thoughts you hear in your mind. Ask, is this even true? Who does this voice remind me of? A bully? A critic? A fearful parent? Treat self-doubt as a suggestion to examine, not a command to obey. Stoic reminder, just because you think it doesn't make it true. Step 2. Build an inner court, not a public jury. Marcus Aurelius said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your judgment of it. Confidence collapses when your worth is judged by others, especially strangers, online critics, or impossible cultural standards. The Stoic man replaces that public jury with a personal code, a quiet internal court of courage, justice, wisdom, and discipline. If he lives by that code, the noise outside doesn't matter. Why this matters? Because outsourcing your self-worth guarantees constant insecurity. Confidence grows only when judged by values you actually respect. Once you stop letting others define your worth and start living by your internal code, you lay the foundation of lasting confidence. Step 3. Doubt shrinks in the presence of discipline. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Discipline is courage in daily form. It's one of the most powerful antidotes to self-doubt. When your mind whispers, you're not enough, but you rise early, train hard, eat clean, and act with integrity, you prove that voice wrong. Doubt thrives in laziness, indecision, and chaos. It dies when confronted with order, direction, and consistent action. Why this matters? Because discipline isn't punishment, it's proof. Ritual and structure build belief in yourself. Doubt can't survive when you show up every day with intention and clarity. How to apply it? Start your day with purposeful action, not mindless scrolling. Create a short daily discipline checklist. Stick to it. When doubt whispers, respond with decisive movement. Stoic reminder, confidence is the reward of self-discipline well kept. Step 4. Face what you fear and watch confidence grow. Self-doubt feeds on avoidance. Whatever you fear, if it aligns with your values, do it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, it is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live. When you face fear on purpose, you transform uncertainty into experience. You don't become confident by just believing in yourself, you become confident by proving it. Why this matters? Because avoidance reinforces fear. Action dismantles it. Every time you face your fear, you're laying another brick in the foundation of confidence. Fear left unchecked becomes weakness. Fear conquered becomes power. How to apply it? Identify one fear-based task you've been avoiding. Do it this week. Afterward, reflect. What did I learn about myself? Stoic reminder, you don't become confident, then act. You act, and then become confident. Step 5. Stop begging for certainty, embrace the unknown deep down. Many men think, I'll act when I'm sure it'll work. But that's not a strategy. That's a trap. The obsession with certainty is a disease. It keeps you stuck. It feeds overthinking. It turns potential into paralysis. The Stoics taught us one thing clearly: the only certainty worth chasing is the certainty of your character. Epictetus wrote, do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but want them to happen as they do. Let's face it, waiting to act until you're 100% ready is just doubt in disguise. Act, adjust, learn, keep going. That's how real confidence is built. Why this matters? Because if you wait for clarity, you'll wait forever. The world doesn't work in perfect predictions. A Stoic man doesn't rely on forecasts, he relies on values. How to apply it? Stop letting decisions hang in limbo because you're not sure. Ask, what would the man I admire most do right now? Do small things without needing a guarantee. Then expand. Stoic reminder, you don't need certainty, you need courage. Step 6. Obsession with certainty is a disease. Waiting for guarantees is what keeps men stuck. They overanalyze, they hesitate. They become passive, imprisoned in the endless loop of just a little more thinking. But the Stoic thinks differently. He understands that the only certainty worth pursuing is the certainty of his own character. Epictetus put it bluntly, do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but want them to happen as they do. Waiting to act until you're 100% sure is often just doubt wearing a mask. Take the step. Make the move. Trust your instincts and adjust as needed. Why this matters? Because certainty is rare, but preparation and adaptability are priceless. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself while moving. The Stoic man relies on principles, not predictions. How to apply it? Base decisions on values, not perfect forecasts. When unsure, ask, what would the man I admire most do right now? Do small things without needing guarantees, then grow from there. Stoic reminder, you don't need certainty, you need courage. Step 7. Let go of the ideal man you think you should be. Many men are haunted by a ghost, a perfect version of themselves they believe they should have become by now. He's flawless, fearless, successful, rich, shredded, respected, emotionally wise, a great father, a fierce leader, always in control. But here's the truth, that man doesn't exist, and holding him up as your measuring stick only breeds guilt, resentment, and self-hate. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoic doesn't measure himself against fantasy. He turns to the present reality and asks, what's the best I can do with this moment? That's where freedom begins. Why this matters? Because if your standard is a myth, you'll never feel good enough. Real growth starts when you stop measuring against a lie. Peace begins the moment you accept your humanity and build from there. How to apply it? Write down the unrealistic expectations you've put on yourself. Then write who you truly want to become, based on values, not image. Let go of the fantasy. Live your mission. Stoic reminder, you're not here to be ideal. You're here to be real and excellent within that reality. Once you stop chasing a fantasy version of yourself and learn to act without guarantees, it's time to face a deeper battle, the one happening inside your mind. Step 8. Reframe your inner voice. Make it your coach, not your critic. Ever noticed this? You say things to yourself that you'd never accept from anyone else, but still you listen. Worse, you believe them. That voice whispers, you always mess things up. You're not good enough. No one truly respects you. The Stoics respond with clarity. Reframe that voice. Don't obey it, correct it. Epictetus taught, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. So when your mind says, I always screw up, you respond, I made a mistake. Yes, but I acted with courage. I'll fix it and grow when it says, I'm not enough, you say. I'm a man in training. I get stronger every day I stay the course. Why this matters? Because the voice inside your head shapes your identity, and you can train it just like a muscle. Reframing your thoughts builds resilience, clarity, and deep self-respect. How to apply it? Catch negative thoughts and write them down. Then rewrite them through a Stoic lens, calm, rational, virtuous, and constructive. Repeat your reframed thought daily until it takes root. Stoic reminder: speak to yourself as a wise mentor would, not like your worst enemy. Step 9. Strengthen your circle or stand alone with honor. No man is completely immune to the influence of his environment. If you surround yourself with weakness, bitterness, or passive men, your internal war will only grow harder. Seneca said, associate with those who can improve you. But if you're alone, that's not failure, that's training. The Stoic man becomes his own best ally first. Only then does he choose strong brothers to walk beside him. You're not weak for being alone. You're only weak if you betray your values to belong. Why this matters? Because doubt grows in toxic company, but strength can grow in solitude if you use it well. Brotherhood accelerates growth, but it's never required to begin. How to apply it? Audit your circle. Who drains you? Who strengthens you? Start pruning those who erode your principles. If you walk alone, build yourself into the kind of man others are proud to walk beside. Stoic reminder: stand with lions or walk alone, but never kneel for acceptance. Once you've rewired your internal voice and surrounded yourself with strength, the next step is to master your emotions, to act even when you don't feel like it. Step 10. Let action define you, not emotion. The Stoics have long taught that feelings are not your ruler. Reason and virtue are. Marcus Aurelius once said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. A Stoic man doesn't wait to feel brave to act bravely. He doesn't wait to feel confident to speak the truth. He doesn't wait to be motivated to rise and do his duty. He acts, and those disciplined actions shape who he becomes. The man who does is the man who becomes. Why this matters? Because feelings come and go like tides. But action leaves a legacy. The man who waits until he feels ready is already losing. When you live with purpose, your emotions follow your behavior, not the other way around. How to apply it? Choose one identity-shaping action you will do every day, no matter how you feel. When you catch yourself saying, I don't feel like it, respond with, I do this not because I want to, but because it's who I am. Let your schedule, your discipline, and your actions define you. Stoic reminder: you are what you repeatedly do, not what you occasionally feel. Step 11. Honor the struggle. It proves you're still in the fight. Too often, men view self-doubt as weakness. They think if they were truly strong, they wouldn't struggle inside. But that's a lie. The very existence of the struggle is proof of strength. Seneca once said, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. You are not weak because you doubt. You're not broken because you hesitate. You're not unworthy because this fight isn't easy. You are human. You are growing. You are still in it. And that means you haven't quit. Why this matters? Because struggle only turns to shame when you hide it. But when you see it as part of the path, you take its power away. The man who keeps showing up is the man who wins. Not because it's easy, but because he refused to leave. How to apply it? Stop judging yourself for the inner war. Start honoring yourself for continuing to fight it. Treat every round of self-doubt like another training session. One more rep, one more breath, one more step. Stoic reminder: the struggle doesn't make you weak. It makes you worthy. As you learn to honor your inner struggle, a deeper truth becomes clear. You don't need to eliminate every doubt to become confident. Final thought: real confidence comes from action, not perfection. You don't need to be flawless. You don't need to be completely sure of yourself. You don't need to be the man others expect. You just need this honesty, courage, discipline, and the willingness to rise again. Every single day, Epictetus reminds us no man is free who is not master of himself. And that mastery doesn't begin with silence in the mind, but with command over it. It doesn't come from the absence of doubt, but from the presence of unshakable resolve. You might feel the war inside. You might wrestle with uncertainty in the dark, but that doesn't mean you're losing. It means you're still in it, still standing, still showing up. And that already makes you stronger than most men will ever be. So what now? Sharpen your thinking daily. Fortify your habits with grit. Live by your personal code quietly and consistently. And remember, a man who shows up daily with courage and virtue is already winning the only war that truly matters. This entire video was never about turning you into a perfect man, free of doubt or flaws. It was about helping you become something far more powerful. A man who is strong from the inside out. A man who understands. True freedom doesn't come from the world, it comes from mastering yourself. Real strength isn't found in muscles or praise, but in showing up daily, even when unseen. And the greatest victory is not over others, but over the weaker voice inside your own mind. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You just need to begin. Even with the doubt, even with the fear, even without applause. One step, then another. And if you're still watching this, it means something inside you is stirring. Don't silence it. Live by it. Train by it. Let virtue, discipline, and courage become the foundation of your life. You don't need a perfect world to be strong. You just need a worthy reason and a fire that won't go out. Endure. Adapt. Triumph. It's not just a message. It's a way of life. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, share it with a brother who might need a fire in the dark. I'll see you in the next one.